Cuppa. Cuppa refers to a cup of tea or sometimes coffee. When you go to visit a friend or family member in Great Britain, you may be greeted with the phrase, "Do you fancy a cuppa?" Ledge. Ledge is short for legend. When using the word legend to describe a person, it means that this person is very famous or successful at what they do. For example, you might hear someone say, "I absolutely love Elton John. What a ledge!"
Hi, I'm Jim from 7ESL. In today's video, we're going to take a look at some British slang expressions. But there's just one little problem. I'm American, so it's going to sound funny if I read British slang in an American accent. So I lined up a little help from my friend Eileen, who's going to read them in what's called RP, or received pronunciation. That's the common, semi-official British accent that you'll hear in newscasts, at universities, and so on. Are you ready?
Tosh. When you say something is tosh, you mean that it is a lot of nonsense. For example, you might say, "I've read an article about the Earth being flat. It's tosh." Chuffed. When you're feeling chuffed, you're pleased, happy, or proud of something. For instance, if you go to the gym every week now and have already lost 3 kilograms, you might say, "I'm really chuffed. I've already lost 3 kilos. Gander. The word is usually used as part of the phrase "take a gander," which means look. For example, if you're struggling with your maths homework, you can ask one of your friends to help you by saying, "Can you take a gander at this equation?" Mate. When you say that someone is your mate, you simply mean that this person is your friend. For example, you can introduce your best friend by saying that he's my best mate. Gutted. When someone's feeling gutted, they're very sad, disappointed, and devastated. For instance, if you don't pass an important exam you've spent weeks revising for, you might say, "I failed my exam. I'm completely gutted." Fag. In British slang, fag means a cigarette. Someone you work with might be a smoker, and he'll say, "I'm going outside for a fag." Trolleyed. Trolleyed means drunk. For example, when your mate has had too many beers at a bar, you can say that he is trolleyed. Bloody. In Britain, bloody doesn't necessarily refer to something covered in blood. It can also mean damned and show frustration and anger. For example, you might say, "Bloody traffic, we'll be late for work." Knackered. When you hear somebody say that they are knackered, they are usually referring to the fact that they are extremely exhausted or tired. For example, "I'd love to go to the pub with you, but I'm completely knackered." Bants. Bants is a shorter way of saying banter, meaning friendly joking. For example, "I went out with my mates last night. We had some good bants." Cuppa. Cuppa refers to a cup of tea or sometimes coffee. When you go to visit a friend or family member in Great Britain, you may be greeted with the phrase, "Do you fancy a cuppa?" Ledge. Ledge is short for legend. When using the word legend to describe a person, it means that this person is very famous or successful at what they do. For example, you might hear someone say, "I absolutely love Elton John. What a ledge!" Mardy. Mardy is a term used to describe someone who is not in a very good mood. You might hear the word used like this: "Ben is slamming around in there. I think he's a bit mardy because he's lost his mobile." Leg it. When you hear someone tell you to leg it in Britain, you are being told to make a quick exit or run away. For example, you might say, "Quick, we are going to get caught. Leg it." Bloke. Bloke is simply used as a term for a man. You might hear someone say, "I like Martin. He's a decent bloke." Lurgy. Lurgy is a word used to describe a fictitious contagious illness. Cooties is the American English equivalent. It's often used with dreaded. For example, you might hear someone say, "I wouldn't go near John today. He's got the dreaded lurgy." Bog. Bog is used in Britain to describe the toilet. This is a commonly used word in the UK, and you will likely hear it very often. "I've got to go to the bog. I'm busting." Daft. Daft is a word used to describe someone or something that is a little bit silly or crazy. You might hear it used in a sentence like, "Don't be daft. We have plenty of time to eat and get to the show." Codswallop. Codswallop means nonsense. For example, if someone has told you that they have just been chased by a dinosaur, you might reply, "What a load of old codswallop." Dodgy. The word dodgy means suspicious. You might hear it in a sentence like, "I don't trust that house. The building looks a bit dodgy to me." Nout. This means nothing, especially in Northern England and Scotland. It might be heard in a sentence like, "I really must go shopping. I've got nout at all in the fridge." Pear-shaped. Pear-shaped refers to a situation that has gone wrong or has not turned out as expected. You might say, "Well, the car cut out halfway to our destination. The whole journey went a bit pear-shaped." Snog. Snog means a passionate or French kiss. It is a very common slang term in the United Kingdom and might be heard in a sentence like, "Look at Bob and Mary. They're having a good old snog." Mug. Mug refers to someone who will believe anything or who regularly falls prey to pranks and wrongdoings. For example, Steve has fallen for another online scam. He is such a mug. Hard. When you hear the word hard used in British slang, it refers to those considered tough and able to look after themselves in a fight. For example, I wouldn't get on the wrong side of Bill. He's hard.
That's all for now. Are you chuffed that you have mastered some British slang? Now you can go to London and ask for a cuppa if you feel you need some tea.